I still remember the day I started my residency at St. Michael's Hospital like it was yesterday. I was eager to learn and prove myself. But nothing could have prepared me for the eerie feeling that settled in the pit of my stomach every time I had to venture into the hospital's basement. It wasn't just the usual musty smell and flickering fluorescent lights that made me uneasy. It was the whispered warnings from my colleagues about the forbidden floor, the one that was supposedly off limits to everyone. They called it the floor, in hushed tones, as if speaking its name aloud would conjure up some malevolent entity. I brushed it off as mere hospital legend. But the more I explored the basement, the more I became convinced that something was amiss. The elevators would often malfunction, and the stairs seemed to lead to a maze of narrow corridors and dimly lit rooms that seemed to shift and change like a labyrinth. One night, while searching for a misplaced medical file, I stumbled upon an old service elevator that I had never seen before. The doors creaked open, revealing a set of rusty buttons with numbers that went far beyond the hospital's official floor count. My heart racing, I pressed the button for the lowest level, and the elevator lurched to life. As we descended, the air grew colder, and the smell of disinfectant gave way to something foul and decaying. The doors finally opened with a jolt, and I stepped out into a long, dark corridor lined with doors that seemed to stretch on forever. I began to explore, my footsteps echoing off the walls. But the further I went, the more I realized that I was not alone. I started to hear the faint sound of whispers, a soft murmuring that seemed to come from all directions at once. It was then that I stumbled upon a door with a sign that read, "Authorized personnel only." My curiosity getting the better of me, I pushed the door open, and a warm, golden light spilled out into the corridor. What I saw inside will haunt me for the rest of my life. Rows of hospital beds, each one occupied by a patient, their eyes open and staring blankly at the ceiling. But it was what was attached to their bodies that made my blood run cold, a tangle of wires, tubes, and machines that seemed to be keeping them alive, but barely. And then, I saw the doctor, standing at the far end of the room, his eyes fixed on me with a mixture of curiosity and malevolence. I tried to run, but my feet felt heavy, as if rooted to the spot. The doctor began to walk towards me, his eyes never leaving mine, and I knew I had to get out of there. Fast I turned and sprinted back down the corridor, the whispers growing louder, more urgent. As I ran, I didn't stop until I was back in the safety of the hospital's main floors, gasping for air. It wasn't until I stumbled into the hospital cafeteria, shaking and drenched in sweat, that I realized I had left my ID badge on the forbidden floor. I never went back for it, and I never spoke of what I saw that night. But sometimes, in the dead of night, I still hear the whispers, calling me back to the floor, beckoning me to return to the place where the living and the dead coexist in a twisted, nightmarish world.